Chris has been dragged out of bed for the second time tonight.
Hey Jeanette, how are you? Good. Where's our girl?
Upstairs.
Okay.
He doesn't know it yet.
Thank you.
But this emergency is going to be one of the longest, toughest tests he's ever faced.
Come through, Chris.
Okay, thanks.
Jeanette is worried about her Norwich terrier, Bindi, who's having problems with her first litter of pups.
Oh, here it comes.
Even though she's 5.5 and I guess in the dog world a mature mother, it's to be expected that she's just not too sure about the whole thing.
Wow.
Did you get a bite there?
I did.
You okay?
Yeah, it's very nice bite.
This breed is notorious for difficult births because of their small pelvis.
So I do actually have a puppy coming through now.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, girl.
Come on, girl. Good girl. Good girl. Push.
Head's through, but we've got to wait for the shoulders to come through, and this is where we're stuck at the moment. Come on, Bindi. I'm just trying to get my fingers up around its shoulders.
It's 1 a.m. and Bindi is still trying to push out her first puppy.
Give me a push, girl. Come on, Bindi. Come on, Bindi, give me one really good push.
Push.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl.
Got it?
Yeah. So we just have to get air into these lungs.
The puppy's out, but he's not breathing.
Which is critical. We start sucking in air.
Is he all right?
I'm getting movement, but just not a lot of breathing. Hey, puppy. Physicality of the whole thing, how vigorous I'm being, is very deliberate. I'm trying to tell it that, hey, it's time to wake up, it's time to get going, you've got to breathe. And I'll do that any way possible. Okay, we're getting a little bit more movement. Mum knows best, and she'll stimulate a movement as well.
It's moving.
Yeah, it is.
At last, Bindi's first puppy is showing signs of life.
God, he's real. Oh, you little squeaker. Look, Bindi. Little boy. Relieved, because I must say I didn't think that little pup was alive. Oh.
And you got kissed by me, sucked in.
Chris, well done. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
That was hard work.
It was, wasn't it?
That was hard, no, admit it. Hey, admit it? Yes.
I admit it.
Bindi's contractions have started again, and there are more complications. The second puppy is in a dangerous breech position.
Sort of the position that vets dread. It has horrible connotations, and when you've got a head coming through, you can grab the head and pull that with the shoulders, but with this, you're grabbing hold of slippery toes, and that's it. It just makes a nightmare. I can feel the hips and the shoulders trying to force their way through that pelvis, and they're just too big for it.
Bindi's breech birth is not going well.
It's awful, isn't it?
Agony. And one more. Baby, darling. It's okay. Got it?
Yep.
And when the puppy arrives, once again, there is no response.
You can do it. I think you surprise all of us, huh?
Any movement?
No. No, it doesn't look good. You want, mate? No. Nope. Sorry, girl. Sorry about that. Sorry
Oh, we certainly tried. My God, it's been a hard night, hasn't it?
It's not over.
Oh my God, how can we do any more? I didn't know whether Bindi could take any more.
She needs a rest, but I guess whether her body's going to let her have a rest is another thing.
Chris faces a dilemma. There is at least one more puppy to come, and Bindi is now too exhausted to push.
Didn't work out the way we wanted it to, did it? Next one will be okay, they won't. Yeah? No, it just hasn't moved.
No, okay, let's go.
No. Okay.
Good try.
Let's do it. Yep.
Bindi has been in labour for 6 hours, and Chris has decided her health is now at risk.
She just has nothing to go on with, yet she's still got at least one pup inside her. Leave it any longer, we risk that pup. I just think it is worth now going to caesarean.
The emergency surgery will be performed back at the Bondi Clinic.
Just through the back here, Jeanette.
I'm just getting a bit of a second wind now at 4 a.m. Is that what it is? 4 a.m. almost?
The first puppy is stable and is being fed some much-needed milk. After opening Bindi up, Chris discovers there is one puppy remaining. But the little girl is lifeless. After 8 hours of labour, Chris is fighting desperately to save Bindi's last puppy. And finally, the sound Chris has been waiting for.
Doing pretty well now, breathing on her own now.
Great, all right. Fingers crossed those signs continue to improve. Now, we just need to sew her back up and wake her up.
Bindi's waking up from the anaesthetic and is recovering well from her marathon ordeal.
That was hectic. Hey, Mum, you know this one? You know this one? Yours. You know you actually can't get out of this one. We do have video footage to prove this is actually yours. Now, Jeanette.
Yes.
You've met your little boy before.
Yes.
But you haven't met your little girl before.
Oh.
That's good news, huh?
Bindi okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's just coming out of anaesthetic now.
Oh, sweet.
Beautiful.
Oh, sweet.
Noisy and beautiful.
She looks a bit bigger than him.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a night.
I
what
know.
a night. Oh, was that hard, that last bit?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. They are just so adorable. Oh my God. You're clever girl.
When Jeanette checks on Bindi, Chris can finally raise a delicate subject.
And Jeanette, this is a bit embarrassing. We've come all this way, yet they don't look like purebred Norwich terriers. Who's Dad?
He's a Jack Russell.
Jack Russell crosses, is he? That explains a lot.
The only name we had was for the boy, little Boney. Bindi's mother was called Juliet, and we thought we should name a girl after the mother, so she might be Juliet.
If you've got Bone and Juliet, it's not too much of a stretch to have Bonio and Juliet.
Oh!
Thank you. It might be 6:30 in the morning, but I'm still functioning.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, see?
Funny guy.
Crazy times.
Oh, yes.
Bindi will stay at the clinic with her 2 puppies for overnight observation.
That's one of the longest nights I've ever had. Highly stressful. We lost one. That's sad, but we got 2 living pups, which is great. A good result. What's this? Is that Day? I'm going home.
In we go. This way, Poppet.
In London, welfare warrior Ali is bringing her rescue bulldog Wilberforce to Scott's practice for a marathon day of surgery.
Hello, team. Hi, Wilbur. Hi. Hi. Oh my God. He's like a rugby player in a dog's body. Yeah.
The 1-year-old will be having 5 procedures to correct genetic abnormalities and give him a more comfortable life.
Bulldogs are a damaged breed thanks to human beings. We have shunted them, squashed their faces, damaged their backs, their spines, their tails, all kinds of things with a view to making them look like we want them to look like.
Has Mummy got her shopping list?
There you go.
I love this. I was thinking about this going, you know, most people like to go, okay, what's the shopping list today? It's like broccoli, maybe some eggs. Wilberforce is having a castration and a nose job.
He is. So I've known Scott a long time and he's always mocking me for my Excel spreadsheets. So today I couldn't help myself, I've written him a list.
I'm looking forward to this because I think, you know, he's such a lovely dog and
give him the best chance.
Yeah, he just deserves to be able to breathe better. Wilbs, say goodbye to Mummy. Go on then.
Darling. I absolutely trust Scott. We've known each other a long time. He's a great vet, he's my friend. But I think anyone whose dog is going under the knife and under anaesthetic is always a little bit anxious. See you soon.
Try not to worry too much.
I won't.
All right.
Keep yourself busy.
I've got my list. Mum.
Tick it off.
See you later. Bye. I'll be checking it twice. It's daunting going into surgery with such a long list simply because you know that your patient might be under anaesthetic for a really long time. Are you looking forward to your facelift? Eh? I'll have to get one of those in a couple of years. Huh? Yeah.
Assisting Scott is nurse Nathan.
So first on the list is assessing Wilbur's eyelashes. A lot of British Bulldogs suffer with something called ectopic cilla. They're really irritating eyelashes. Rather than growing out of the eyes, they sort of grow down and they can rub on the eye, causing a corneal ulcer or damage to that protective surface of the eye. Okay. So his eyes are clear, so that's good. But what he has got is just a little slight amount of in-rolling of the eyelid. But it is only mild, I've seen way worse. And I'm hopeful that just by removing the skin fold beneath, I can produce enough tension to be able to just slightly roll it out without the actual need to perform surgery there as well.
Oh, look at that.
Next is a check of Wilbur's soft palate.
That's the soft palate flapping in the wind there. And you can see how it's going right down and into his larynx, and that's not what should happen. Looking down the throat of Wilbur, I'm not surprised to see that his soft palate is elongated and it is flapping away inside his larynx there. That is making for a lot of difficulty breathing and also some of the noise involved as well. Yeah. So he definitely needs that trimming. It's not the worst I've seen, but you know, it'll definitely be improved just by being a little bit trimmed, that one. The surgery itself is pretty straightforward. We almost evert it kind of like a second tongue, and then I just kind of lop off the section in the middle, just shortening it. And instead of having that flap, you've now got sort of a lovely bridge that allows air to flow right through the throat and down into the airways. Okay, all right, everyone ready? As they say, measure twice, cut once. And I'm very happy. I think it looks so much better, and that should have quite a quick result in improving his ability to breathe, and certainly might reduce that snoring. So that's the first surgical element ticked off the list, and now we're going to move to the nostrils and that skin fold.
This is the part Scott's most nervous about, remodelling the Bulldog's face.
Deep breath, everyone. The next step is the narrowplasty or nose job for Wilbur, and it's basically where we take a triangle out of each of the nostrils and flare them upwards just to increase the size, the diameter of the nostrils, which has a massive impact on his ability to take in deeper breaths. So now he's got nostrils, quite big ones as well, which is no bad thing. Oh, okay, right, so that's that done. So now facial fold time.
Scott's removing some of the excess skin around Wilbur's face to reduce the infection and inflammation in the excessively deep folds.
His facial muscles are reacting. It's nerve-wracking. It's really hard. It's actually quite difficult to get into these folds and make sure that you're removing the right amount, and you're actually cutting a little bit blind as well. So, yeah, because there's a lot of blood vessels. There's important structures underneath, and because of how deep the folds are, you're doing a lot of the surgery blind, so definitely more challenging than I anticipated.
With the troublesome skin folds finally removed, Scott's anxious to make sure that after all the delicate cutting, Wilbur's vital tear ducts running between his eyes and nose are still intact.
In this dog's particular case, it's so deeply positioned that it was pretty much impossible for me to see before I did or didn't cut. So I'm just putting some dye in his eye, and if everything is fine, it should trickle. Well, certainly there should be some green coming out of his nose quite shortly. Just a bit nervous on this right side, just had a bit of a bleeder. I can't see anything coming out actually into the surgical space, so I mean they could have been blocked before.
With no telltale dye coming through, a nervous Scott is going to flush the tear ducts, suspecting there may be an existing blockage.
Just think of Ali, she doesn't realise how much pain you're going through now doing all
this.
Yeah,
I know. Some more grey hairs to add to the collection. He's got flat face, therefore he does tend to get blocked tear ducts, but with a bit of flushing, I could see that lovely trickle of luminous green coming out of his nose, which probably for the first time is a really good thing. I can breathe now.
On to needlework now?
Yep, loads and loads of sutures. It's such a relief to have this surgery nearly completed and to be able to see that my handiwork has paid off. His face looks good and there's no more folds, so I'm pretty happy vet right now. That looks good.
Be the envy of the Bulldogs in the park.
Yeah, look at my non-wrinkly face. Dr. Scotty's taken the years off me.
But Scott can't relax just yet.
Okay, so last thing. Castration, yes. I bet Wilbur hoped that I'd forgotten that one. So this is the final cut. Someone say the most painful cut of all. Okay, and that's that. Okay, I never want to have to remove something from this dog again. I'm pretty exhausted. It's been intense and long, but you know, we've ended up with a really good result. After that marathon surgery, I'm absolutely knackered. It was a long list. I checked it twice. I completed it once, and now I need a nap.
And a much quieter Wilberforce is also enjoying a well-earned snooze.
Today's been a really long wait. It's always long because you're anxious and you're checking your phone for an update, but it's just waiting's always really hard when you want to get your little boy home, really.
Right. Here's the new face reveal.
Hi, little guy. Oh, you do look a bit swollen.
What do you think?
Oh, I know that tongue. You've got a load of space under his nostrils, though.
Yeah.
Hey?
And the facial folds?
It's gone.
Yeah.
I know, puppy.
I could have made a small Wilberforce purse out of the amount of skin I've removed.
Oh, you darling. It's going to feel better soon, I promise. Oh, love him.
I'm very happy with it.
Well, if you're really happy with it, I mean, yeah. I'm really happy with it. It looks kind of like I was expecting it to look.
Yes. He's had a bad day, but I think it's a day that needed to be had, and this is the sort of start of the rest of his life where he'll be comfortable, he'll breathe a lot better. Yeah, happy days.
It's just the worst day. It's all good from now, Poppy. Yeah. It's all getting better.
Yeah.
I'm not promising the next 4 days are going to be easy, but for Wilberforce, it's definitely life-changing surgery. For any brachycephalic breed, it's life-changing surgery. I feel bad for him, but I was contemplating that today, going for 2 weeks of discomfort and soreness for him for a lifetime of benefit. It's definitely the right decision. It's definitely worth it. But the next couple of days, particularly, I think I'll feel a bit sad for him.
Hey, you've had a few too many at the pub, haven't you? Good boy.
It's Mama. Yes. Oh no. Oh, careful.
Despite feeling miserable now, Wilbur has a bright future and plenty of thank you kisses for Scott.
Oh,
He's a poor baby. You've had a bad day, haven't you? Oh, you are lovely. You are lovely.
I think that he is going to have a wonderful recovery and a really great new life. I mean, this is a dog that's come out of the box genetically not particularly blessed, but hopefully with what I've done today, tinkering about with his face and his soft palate, etc., this is a dog that's going to breathe so much better and therefore live a far more healthy and comfortable life.
Okay, come on then, buddy. Let's go. Home time now. Come on.
Will I do 5 surgeries in one again? Probably not.
All right, I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to go lay down.
I know.
Bye.
You're very good. Watching Nemo run around is so good. She's so fast, that leg doesn't bother her at all. It doesn't slow her down because she doesn't know any different. You're pretty fast.
It's 2 weeks since X-rays revealed the full extent of the massive deformity in the little dog's right front leg.
Good girl.
In an hour's time, the vivacious young Staffy Cross will undergo surgery that will hopefully save her shattered limb.
So it's a big day for Nemo. Since we were last here, nothing's changed. She's such a happy little girl.
Are you a good girl?
The team at Bark are feeling a little bit nervous because it's such a big thing for such a small dog to do at the moment. But we're all got our trust in Dr. Rob, so we know he'll do a good job. She's been really good at the facility, so we'll be keen to get her back and get her into a lovely home so she can spend her life there.
Hey, little Nemo. How are you, gorgeous thing? Where's my kisser? Oh, kisser. You are very gorgeous. You are very gorgeous. Come on in. I'll explain everything that we're doing. You are mine. Come on. It's been a little while since I've seen her. She's even sweeter now. I don't know. Every time I see this dog, I just fill up with the love that she gives me. So, a really big day today for Nemo. I've spoken to a lot of people, both here in Australia and United States, even England. No one has seen this before anywhere that I've searched. So, unfortunately, prosthesis is not a possibility for Nemo. There's one of 2 options, amputation, of course, or trying to salvage something of this limb and make it at least something that she'll be able to use through her life. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I really don't. Yeah, this one has really plagued my mind and my sleep as well. It's nightmares I've been having over where do I go with this case.
When does amputation become a thing?
That is a really good question. Amputation may have to happen even today. If I can't get everything aligned with enough skin, it may not be an option for her to progress trying to save that limb in any way. I don't know if that's the case or not. No, but I'll do my best for you, baby. Oh, don't do that. I love you too much. Of all the surgeries I've done in my career, this one sticks out as the most complex and where do I go with it type case, because no one's ever done this before and I don't know if I'll achieve anything or not for this puppy. I wish I loved you. I wish I didn't love you. I hate loving you. Well, I just want to see if I can get these bones together. It'll support the other leg. Otherwise she'll go through puppyhood and growth on one leg, put a lot of pressure on all the joints on that one leg, and that can cause arthritis and other problems. Oh, seriously, Nemo? What sort of foot are you going to have? Why am I doing this? Hate you. I hate you. Time for you to say goodbye and time for me to start sweating.
All right, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Nemo.
Say goodbye to your mummy.
Be a good girl.
After you.
So it's kind of sad saying goodbye to Nemo. I'm a little bit anxious for Nemo and Dr. Rob because who knows what's going to happen, but I know he'll do what's best for Nemo and I think she'll be great. She's a tough cookie.
The incisions, we're going to have to go through there to bring you down into position, bring you down and straighten this. Put all these together again. Oh, wow. This is worse than Humpty Dumpty. The big worry is, will there be enough skin? Darling, there's only one way to find out now. This is it, darling. All right? So we're going to give it our best shot for you. You're just too beautiful. It's all right, Bubba. It's all right, Nemo. Baby, baby, baby. It's all right. Shh. I know, darling. Good girl, good lass. There's my girl.
Rob has anaesthetised Nemo before attempting to reconstruct the rescue puppy's mutilated leg.
Let's see if we can do it.
It will be the most challenging surgery Rob has ever performed.
Turn her over this side so we can get the fluids running. This is like the first surgery I've ever performed in my whole life. There's nothing anywhere about what approach to do with this. So I'm using all the experience I've ever had over 40 plus years of being a veterinarian and just trying to put this limb back together again. That toe has to go, it's non-functional anyway. And this has to be joined up with that. Even though she's been born with this terrible malformation, this animal is so lovable, just adores the world, adores everyone. She doesn't care, I'm the same as everybody else and I just love everybody. She's got a heart of gold, this little dog. All right, let's get started. Here we go. See if you can just stretch that skin that way a little bit for me. Just pull it apart for me now. I've got to work out how to get that to there. That's the wrist. What we think is the elbow is actually the wrist. So what I'm trying to do now is release enough soft tissues around what would be the wrist. And we're trying to realign the bones into a straight line. That's the elbow. Can we bring those tissues and stretch them? And it's literally trying to bring in a lot of brute force. Stretch those out a bit. Release these tissues, we've got a chance. Come on, baby, let it go. And we're trying to straighten all this out, and the amount of pressure I'm having to put on the wrist is crazy. It's just so deformed. I've also got to pull the ulna down and try and get it under the humerus. Then I'll have to bring the radius down, and the amount of pressure is frightening me because I could snap the bones. How does the end of a radius end up with a toe? This is a terrible jigsaw puzzle. If I snap the bones, all bets are off. We will definitely have to amputate. The guy will just bend this around. Yeah, sure. It's like when you look at the books, they say, just do this. Cut from A to B. There's no A to B on this dog.
Nemo's abnormal anatomy is also making it virtually impossible for Rob to navigate the vital nerves and blood vessels in her severely damaged leg.
There's a big blood vessel there which I really want to preserve. When you stretch a blood vessel that's that big, it becomes that big. And if that's compromising the blood supply to that limb, we'll lose it. I just don't know if we're going to make this one done. If we can't get this done, we can't get any of you done. Come on, baby.
Rob, her oxygen's gone down.
Knock the nitrous off. Just want to achieve something for this little dog. Please, get her oxygen level back up. So this is really difficult right at the moment. Yeah, her oxygen levels have now dropped twice. This is the second time. I don't want to make a third time lucky. I'm really worried. What do I do? I've got to make a decision. It's really hard. Sorry, you're right.
But suddenly, her condition deteriorates once more.
Her heart rate's dropped.
Her heart rate's dropping. We're losing her. Her life's more important than anything, so we're going to have to amputate. I want to get out of here for her sake as quickly as possible now. I just have to amputate and not think about it in any emotional sense. Very difficult, but that's what we have to do. We need to save her life. Oh, Nemo. Sorry, Princess. That's the way it goes. I'm going to take it off at the shoulder. Just got to cut through all the muscles, tie off the blood vessels, and then disarticulate it. Poor little monkey. I know I'm doing the right thing by her now, but I'll go to my grave wishing I could have saved that limb for her.
Although removing Nemo's leg will be much quicker than trying to rebuild it, Rob still worries he could run out of time if her vital signs don't improve.
This is not a standard simple amputation. There are vessels where there shouldn't be vessels and muscles that are not even aligned properly. Everything's in a weird position. I certainly don't want to cut the wrong thing, but on the other hand, I don't want it to be under for any longer than she needs to be. How's her colour? Heart rate gone up a bit. I've got hold of the nerve here. Good. We are very close.
But with the amputation almost finished,
I'm hoping we've tied off the really big blood vessel that is underneath here. No, we haven't.
Nemo is soon fighting for her life again.
Swab. Swab again. So I thought I had a blood vessel there, the main one, tied off, but it wasn't. As I cut through some more tissue, blood spurts out, and really I've got to act very fast now. I've got to get in there quickly and shut that off, otherwise she'll bleed out. It won't take long for this little pup to lose a lot of blood. Swab there. That's it. I think we got him. Good.
Narrowly averting disaster, Rob successfully completes the amputation.
Okay, we're done. Let's get her awake. She's already starting to come to. My little one. Now, I do love you. Hope you won't hate me, but I had to take it off. That's a good girl. Here we go. We don't need that light on anymore, do we? Not in your eyes. No, those beautiful eyes. Here she comes. Here we go, Bubba. I know she'll accept life quite okay on 3 limbs. I would have loved to have that as a bit of a stump, bit of a crutch that she could have used. Good girl. Good girl. Better? There we go, Tom. There we go. I know. Had to take it off, Bubba. Sorry. Good girl. It's all right. I'm right here. Right. It's going to be all right. Yeah. Still got to be. They just get to you sometimes. This is one of those cases, just... Right now, I just feel pretty gutted. I've invested mountains of time and thought into little Nemo, and worse still, way too much emotion. I know I get too involved with my cases, but how could you not with this gorgeous little dog? And so the relief that she's okay is absolutely fabulous. It's overwhelming. So it does really get to me, and I just, all of a sudden, everything goes. She's not in pain, and she's waking up, and she doesn't have to worry about that. She's going to have to concentrate on 3 legs, and we'll help her with that. We'll help her with that. All good. My baby, my little baby, how are you? Good girl, I love you. Let's have a look how that wound's going, princess. See?
It's now almost a week since Rob was forced to amputate little Nemo's front leg.
Look at you. Bubby, bubby, bubby. This leg's a little bit too bent, isn't it, princess? A little bit worried how you're bending there, sweets. I want you up on that. Got to get you up on that a little bit more. The wound's healing really well. She doesn't even act like anything's happened to her. Normally, I have to help them after an amputation, especially with a front leg, learning the balance again. Not this little pup. The next day, she was up and running about. She's going really, really well. You might increase the calcium in your diet. Get you up on those toes. But that looks good. Good girl, I love you. You are gorgeous. Can't make you any more gorgeous. She just doesn't stop delighting you. She's just a ball of love, this dog. I can't believe it. She just kisses you and she's just delightful. Okay, let's see how you balance and run around, eh? Come on, let's go. Okay, let's see how you enjoy the grass, hey baby? A bit of vitamin D with the sun. Come on, puppy. Come on, my darling. Up, 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 up. Good girl. Good girl. Go for a run. You are doing really well. Up, 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 up. Oh, my darling. Here's my darling girl. With Nemo, I would love to help them find that forever home that she just delights everybody in the family and is the only dog there. Having said that, it'll break my heart when she goes. Up, up. Where are you going? He's a baby. He's my baby. My baby. Oh, you're so good. You're so good. Oh, belly rub, belly rub. Don't know if I could fall more in love with this dog. It's a real problem, but she's going to have to be here for a few years, I think. I'm not sure yet. Oh, come here. It's like a whip, isn't it? That tail, but just can't stop. Can't stop with that tail. You run around like nothing's ever happened to you. Yes. Oh, you're just gorgeous. Yes, you are.
In Sydney, Dom has brought a very roly-poly rescue dog, Pearl, to Audrey, desperately hoping she can restore the Shar Pei's impaired eyesight.
Do you want to come on into the consult and have a look? Come on. She's about 3 now. Is she 3.5?
Yeah.
Hi.
Dom runs a rescue service for Shar Pei's, and when Pearl came into her care, she was heartbroken to notice the young dog struggling to see.
She was described as a blind dog. Good girl. I could see just how bad her eyes actually are. She does bump into stuff, but she could tell when I was approaching her. She can kind of sense shadows around her. Pearl. Oh, good girl.
And obviously we can see there's a lot of rolls around her face and her eyes are covered by them. Do you think she has any vision?
I think she can definitely sense shadows.
Yeah. And there's just small openings for your eyes, isn't there? So that's the thing with Shar Peis. They've got these crazy folds all over their face and that can fold the eyelid in as well as form a hood over their eyes.
Yeah.
Shar Peis have a very common problem with the skin folds on their face. They're very, very wrinkly and that can heavily weigh in on their eyes. So they get these inward rotating eyelids and that scratches on their cornea or the glassy part of the eye, causing a lot of pain, a lot of irritation and potentially could lead to blindness. I can see through to her lens on this eye.
Yeah.
I think there definitely is some vision there.
To ease the constant irritation in Pearl's eyes and to hopefully help her see much clearer, Audrey plans to perform life-changing surgery.
So it might even be, we start off with a skin tuck and just pull all that skin off her eye and get that pressure off. And then from there, I'll assess how much eyelid skin to remove.
I feel really good hearing that Pearl will be able to get some of her vision back and even hearing that she'll just be so much more comfortable and in less pain every day makes me really, really happy.
Once we pull back the eyelids and really have a good look at her eye, I'll be able to see how much damage there is and whether it's reversible. If we get rid of all that irritation, we can potentially reduce the scarring on the cornea with things like steroid creams and things like that, but it will take time and it will depend how much is damaged. That's 3.5 years of sandpaper scratching over the surface of your eyes. If we get some vision back, that's great for her.
I love every dog in our rescue like it's my own dog, and especially Pearl. She's really, really special to us. So there is a bit of nerves there, but I have full confidence in Dr. Audrey, so I know she'll do a great job.
Yeah, I'll hold it so she can see you when she says.
Got to kiss you on all your folds before you go. I love you so much.
We're not going to miss the folds, but we are going to miss you.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful you are when we can see your eyes. We have to do a surgery called entropion correction, which is basically when we cut a crescent shape of skin away from the eyelid edge and roll it back out. And that just provides immediate relief because all that hair is off the eyeball. Do we have a permanent marker here?
If the excess skin isn't removed, the fur and eyelashes will continue to rub painfully on Pearl's eyeballs, and she could eventually lose her sight altogether.
This is essentially like plastic surgery, but we're not doing it for looks. We're doing it to improve her quality of life and take the pain away from her eyes. And what I'm doing here is just marking out the amount of skin that we have to pull off her face just to get the weight off her eyelids. So this surgery is a bit strange for me because usually I'm doing lump removals or amputations, and we're always worried about whether we have enough skin to close. And then I look at how much skin I'm removing just from the face of this dog. It just goes against everything I'm used to.
The corrective surgery will be in 2 stages. Firstly, Audrey will deal with the problematic flesh from Pearl's forehead that's been pressing down on the eyelids and causing them to roll inwards.
So I've removed about 1/4 of the skin flap that I wanted to. We're hoping that this makes all the difference so we don't have to take too much off the eyes. So the more time we spend here, the better. There's so much skin that I have to remove on the top of Pearl's head that I have to do it in parts because we can't really prep all the areas together. It's just rolly, there's lots of excess skin, it's hard to get the right angles. So I've got to do it in actually 4 sections. Trying to find my markers. And this is the skin from the left side of her face. I'm hopeful that I can remove the skin that I need to, but we don't want to remove too much skin because I can't reverse that. So far, so good. So we have reached over an hour and we're still on the skin fold part.
In Sydney, Audrey is performing marathon surgery on young rescue dog Pearl, who has such excessive skin folds on her face she can barely see and is in constant pain.
The skin fold is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I've never taken this much skin off any dog for surgery. Skin is usually very precious. We always want to save it. So it's really mind-boggling today that I have to just remove all that skin and just dump it away. So I've finished suturing up where we removed the skin flap, and I'm very happy with how it's looking.
After tackling the heavy roll of skin on Pearl's forehead, Audrey plans to move on to the eyelids.
The eyes are already looking a lot more open, so I'm hoping the eyelid job is going to be much smaller of a job than the skin flap job. So I'm going to pick her head up and have a look what that looks like. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised because even with removing that skin flap, you can see her eyelids sitting really nicely. It's actually not curling in at all. I'm pretty shocked actually when I have a look at the eyes. I can see that the eyelids are actually sitting pretty nicely. So it looks like removing that large piece of skin has already corrected most of the eyelid. So I'm deciding on whether we even do any entropion eyelid surgery correction or we just leave it and see how it looks when she's awake. Let's wake her up, see how she looks, and then maybe we've got away with it. Just 1 type of surgery.
If the skin removal so far is a success, it will mean a much shorter time under anaesthetic for Pearl.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. Now that she's waking up, look, that's rolling in a lot. So turn it back up for me. Yeah, she's on back.
Pearl's eyelids are still turning in and rubbing on her eyeballs. Audrey decides to go ahead with the second part of the surgery.
And I hope I don't take too much. See, that bottom one's rolling in now. It's been a very long anaesthetic already. It was a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be and a lot more invasive. You know what, now it's not bad. Isn't it funny how it changes in a moment?
Audrey is still finding it hard to determine if Pearl actually needs skin taken from her eyelids.
I'm just not keen to overcorrect at this point.
So she decides to fully wake her patient to get a more precise reading on how the surgery so far has improved the Shar Pei's vision.
Hi, baby. So I'd rather she wake up, we see how the eyelids sit, and if we need to, do a second surgery in the future. She's waking up at the moment, a pretty quick recovery. Yeah, just giving her some pain relief. We were trying to get her a little bit lighter to assess the eyelids. How's your eyes? Oh, I'm really pleased with that, actually. I'm not sure she can blink this side as well, but she can definitely blink the other side. So moment of truth, she's recovering and she's waking up, and I can actually see how her eyelids are sitting when her eyeballs are up and awake, and it looks great. Her eyelids are open, I can actually see her eyeballs. It's definitely a relief that I'm not going to have to do the entropion surgery on the eyelid, because it means a shorter surgical time and a faster recovery.
Hi. Good morning.
Dom, whose rescue charity has given Pearl a second chance at life, has been nervously waiting to find out if Audrey has been able to restore the near-blind 3-year-old's vision.
So it was a long day, pretty anxious, not knowing how much or how little Pearl was going to have taken from her face and around her eyes, and how much she would change.
Where's Mama? Oh, we're busy looking at everything. It's all so exciting. Come on.
Oh my gosh, hi Bobby.
Hi. This is what Mummy looks like.
She can actually open her eyes without straining her whole face.
Yeah, and if you have a look at it, you can see that she can actually see. It's just very mildly cloudy.
Yeah.
I know it looks a bit confronting with this big suture lines, a bit Frankenstein-y, but from a surgeon's point of view, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we can see her eyes, she looks more comfortable, and as soon as she's waking up, she's just looking around and fascinated with the world around her.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy from a surgeon's perspective.
Definitely. It's made a huge difference already.
Yeah, look at the world. And as the swelling goes down and as she learns to open up her eyes, because her eyes are sore as well, it'd be interesting to see how the eyelids sit. They actually sit pretty well now. Her eyes look great. I know that she can see because she's looking at us and she's responding to different things in the room, even as groggy as she is. So the future looks bright, and I'm pretty sure she's going to find a loving home. Look, you can see. Hi. I think she's just in awe of what she can see.
It's amazing to see the dog take everything in for the first time, and in Pearl's case, it's a lot for her to take in. It's going to be like a completely different world for her, and to know how much this is going to improve and change her life, that's what it's about, so it's really good.
Yeah, look at the world. Look at that world.
Good boy.
Good boy.
The Xenos family are preparing to bring in their crippled 2-year-old Diesel to see Chris.
See how long it takes him to sit? You should see him try to get out.
Diesel's part of the family, so it's a case of when he's suffering, we suffer. To see him uncomfortable, it's heartbreaking.
At just 7 months of age, the Golden Retriever slipped and fell and was taken to a vet for what should have been a routine knee operation.
Diesel.
The surgery was unsuccessful, and now Diesel struggles just to get around.
It's really hard because he's still so young and he does want to run and he does want to play and he just can't.
Well, he's like a little brother to me, and like I really love him, so we just want him to get better. It makes us sad as well.
We rang every single vet in Bondi until I found Dr. Chris Brown, because Emmanuel and I swear by the show Bondi Vet. So we're hoping that he'll be able to help Diesel and us.
Come on, buddy. Yeah, it's all right. It's not light.
No, he's not.
Philip, Andrea and their son Emmanuel arrive at the clinic with the badly incapacitated Diesel.
Okay, let's have a look at this leg here. I've never felt this before in a joint. It actually creaks. What worries me is what causes creaking is bone rubbing on bone.
Ooh. And can that be rectified? Or?
We just don't know. We'll have to look at the x-rays to know for sure. The way it is at the moment, you wouldn't even think he'd have 6 months of good life on that leg.
You ready? Yep.
The question now is whether Diesel's leg can be fixed.
This is probably the shot that is going to tell us really the plan for Diesel. It's a very critical moment.
I am struggling. I think it's worse than what I thought. I guess we've got to wait and see and put our trust in Chris. I mean, that's why we're here.
You can see the good one, it looks good. It's long, it's slender, but you go across the left leg, which is the bad one, and it just looks mothy. It looks as though, almost as though the bone's dissolving. That joint is unstable. It's just not doing what it was meant to do. We'll do our best to make him right, all right?
He's a good boy. We won't put him down. We definitely won't put him down.
Yeah, that's not even a consideration. We'll try and,
I'd rather take him home like this than put him down.
It's all too much for Emmanuel.
It's all right,
And you're going to be his best ally.
definitely.
If you keep happy around him, he's going to stay happy and he's going to have all the energy and all the drive to really fight through this. Right? I'm not sure if he's ready for his own legs just yet. Because of the complexity of the surgery and the equipment required to even give Diesel a chance of walking normally again, I'm going to have to refer him to our specialist surgeon at SASH. I guess the thing is for me, this family deserves such a good outcome and I really hope they get it.
Come on. Get it.
Good boy. Get away, Andrew.
He says, I don't know him.
No.
Chris has referred the crippled 2-year-old Diesel to surgeon Andrew Marchevsky at SASH.
Oops. There you go. Come on. We are at the very least going to have to open the joint up.
Yep.
And have a look what's going on inside.
After looking at the x-rays of the damaged knee, Andrew isn't prepared to make too many promises about Diesel's future.
For me to say to you, he is not going to have any pain ever again, I can't say that. If we are unsuccessful getting him better than he is, I'm not sure that it's fair to keep going with him. And it's not something that his parents want to even think about.
Andrea and Philip's son Emmanuel has refused to come to the hospital. The 11-year-old is not coping with the thought of his best friend going under the knife.
And it was his birthday yesterday, and his birthday wish was for Diesel to be better.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Yeah. But if we can't get him better than this, I don't think that's a quality of life for him that's worth persevering with.
Be brave, okay? Good boy.
Diesel is ready for his major leg surgery.
Come on, you'll have to come with him now.
I think he was starting to tremble there. He realised that we weren't going in the whole way. Okay, we better go. He's not going to cooperate.
No.
Now that he's nervous, I'm nervous.
It's hard to know exactly how bad that is, but it's certainly bad enough that there's got to be some damage to his cruciate. Anyway, we'll know soon enough. We're just going to do an arthrotomy, which means open up the joint and have a look and see what's going on inside. And then once we've done that, we'll then look at seeing what we can do to stabilise his joint. It's not been a happy joint for a long time. A needle in a haystack.
As surgery continues, Andrew makes a surprise discovery.
This cruciate is actually intact.
The cause of Diesel's problem is not the cruciate ligament as first thought, but a badly dislocated kneecap.
Unfortunately for Diesel, I think this finding is actually worse for him. It's just going to make it even harder to get that knee functional.
Andrew now needs to drag the kneecap back into its original groove. After 17 months of deterioration, it's going to be a tough challenge.
This I'm cutting off the front portion of the shin bone, which is where the kneecap tendon attaches to the shin. And I've got to move that part of the bone around so it lines up better. Oh, this bone's so soft. Like butter. Unfortunately, there's a chance this won't work. Boy, take it easy. Just take it easy. Good boy. You're raring to go, aren't you?
At Sash, Andrew is now optimistic about Diesel's recovery, despite his worries during the complex knee surgery.
He's quite comfortable on it, and when you move it up and down and flex it up, it's not as crunchy as it was before the surgery, so that's a good sign. Good boy. Oh, slow it down.
But it will take at least 6 weeks rehabilitation before Andrew will know whether the operation has been a success.
He's a bit of a nut, and he's just going to do something silly when he gets home and try and charge up and down a set of stairs, I just fear that he's going to blow this thing apart, so he's scaring you silly. Go on, Diesel. How you going, guys?
Hello. Do you want to come home? Yeah.
But you've got to promise to be very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to have your hands full, you really are.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrea's just going to have a heart in her mouth the whole time. They've just got to look after him so well. They've got to support his back end with a towel. I mean, it's just going to be just a 24-hour effort for them. Look, truly, take him home, see how you go. If you're having a heart attack with him, bring him back. Okay. But we don't mind having him.
Slowly, Diesel.
Come on, Diesel. Slowly, mate.
So take your time, it's okay.
Come on, Diesel.
Come on, good boy.
Diesel, who found it difficult just to walk a few weeks ago, is now able to run and play with his family after major knee surgery.
Diesel! It's like we've got a different dog. It's like we handed in a dog and got another one back. He's just healthy, he's happy, he's not in any pain.
He's got energy to play with the kids. He's going swimming. What's up, big fella? All the things we wanted to do with him before we couldn't, and now it's fantastic.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
This is
Diesel, the new and improved.
the turbo diesel. Look at you.
Diesel's running style may not be perfect, but he finally has real quality of life.
Come on, come on. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't find Chris.
Definitely between Chris and Sash, it's
Best call I made.
he's having fun. He's having a ball.
Good boy.